Have you ever wondered why you struggle to stick to good habits like eating well or exercising? Well, it's not because you're incapable or lazy. For years, I made mistake after mistake trying to force myself into intense routines, only to then fail time and time again. Looking back, I now realize the problem. I was prioritizing intensity over consistency. I would try and go to the gym 5 times a week or eat salads and smoothies all day, and it never worked. And so one of the biggest lessons I learned was that sometimes doing less is actually more. The moment I stopped trying to chase perfection and focused on small, consistent actions, that's when everything changed. Finally, all of the habits that I so badly wanted to create started to stick effortlessly. And now I find that they don't require much effort at all. And so in this video, we're going to dive into how small, consistent actions can help you to build up discipline. And I'm going to share with you my one powerful mindset shift that literally keeps me on track every day. So how can small, consistent actions help you to build up discipline? Well, the more you repeat a behavior, the easier it gets for your brain to then do that action. Think about learning to talk or brushing your teeth. These are actions that don't require that much conscious thought because they've just become second nature to you. At first, forming a new habit will feel hard, and this is when you will experience the most resistance. But if you manage to push through that uncomfortable temporary hump and you stay consistent, your brain will then adapt. And what once felt like effort will eventually become effortless. I honestly used to look at people who ate well and exercised, and I would think to myself, how do they force themselves to do that again and again? I literally used to think that they were like torturing themselves on a daily basis. But now I understand the truth, which is that they're not really forcing anything. They've simply repeated these behaviors so many times that it requires less effort. And this is the key to building unstoppable discipline. Consistency makes your behaviors become more automatic. There's a quote I like that says, "Big things happen through the power of little actions." And it's because discipline isn't built overnight by trying to make big changes. Discipline is built through the small, consistent actions that you take every single day. It's not about forcing yourself to go to the gym 6 times a week at the start. It's about showing up, even if it's for just 15 minutes a day. It's not about overhauling your entire diet overnight and trying to eat smoothies or salads all day. It's about making one healthier choice at a time. Every little thing that you do every day will compound into massive results over time. And so I want to share with you my one mindset shift that I think about all the time to help keep me on track, as I hope it can work for you too. But you have to realize that you are in a constant relay race with yourself, passing the baton between the 3 versions of you: your past, your present, and your future self. Think about it like this: every choice your past self made has now shaped your present reality. If you stayed up late last night, or you skipped studying, or you procrastinated on those important tasks, well, now you have to deal with the consequences of it. And that might look like feeling tired, stressed, or unprepared. And right now, in this very moment today, your present self is also making choices that are shaping your future reality. Because depending on the actions you take today, that's going to determine whether your future self is going to win or fail in this relay race. The hard part is that many of the choices that we make today don't have an immediate consequence, and so it makes it easy for us to ignore them. But eventually, when you pass that baton forward to your future self will either thank you or resent you, depending on the decisions you have made. And so honestly, I've made it a constant practice to always be thinking about my future self. I'm always thinking about the Heather tomorrow, and the Heather next week, and the Heather next month, and the Heather in the next year, so that I constantly remind myself that every action I take today matters. Every choice I make has a consequence. And when I pass that baton forward, I'll either be setting my future self up for success or for failure. To give you a personal example, at the minute, I'm currently waking up at 4 a.m. every single day because next week I'm going to a retreat which requires you to get up at 4 a.m. And I know that future Heather is going to find that difficult. She's going to be tired. And so right now, my present self is waking up early every day so that I can set her up for success. I don't have to get up early. I could just wait until I get there. But I know when I pass that baton forward, and next week when I become her, she's going to find waking up so much easier. And I'll look back at my past self in the relay race and be like, thank you. Thank you for making those choices, even though they were difficult. And this mindset shift of always thinking about my future self has literally changed everything for me. In a weird way, thinking about your future a lot actually forces you to become more present, because it makes you really realize that the choices you are making today are creating that future. And so then you naturally become more present and aware of what you're doing. Instead of spending hours lying down on the couch, scrolling on my phone like I used to do, I remember where I want future Heather to be, and I'm like, no, I'm not going to do that behavior. I have this important task to focus on for future Heather. Or instead of just indulging in all the chocolates and the cakes and whatever feels good in the moment, I think to myself, no, I'm not going to do that because I need to look after future Heather. I'm constantly reminding myself that every single action I take today is either a gift or a burden to my future self. And the best part of it all is that when you do become that future version of you, whether it's tomorrow, next week, next month, next year, you'll look back at your past self in this relay race and you'll be so proud. You look back at the daily actions they took and you can appreciate the hard work and effort that they put in. And I believe this is where true self-esteem and confidence comes from. Honestly, there are so many days where I find myself thinking, thank you, past Heather. Thank you for pushing through that tough workout when you really didn't want to do it. Thank you for saying no to the junk food when you really wanted to eat it. Thank you for focusing and showing up on doing your work even when it was so overwhelming. Because now I've become that future version that she was thinking about, and I'm reaping the rewards from her actions. I feel good, I feel healthy, I feel less stressed, I feel accomplished and satisfied with my work, and it's because of her choices. The best version of yourself is literally there waiting for your present self to make the right choices. They are just round the corner, ready to grab that baton from you. And so I would ask you to reflect on what kind of relay race are you currently in? How has your past self passed the baton forward to make you feel today? And what can you do today, and what choices can you make so that when you pass the baton forward to your future self, you are setting them up for success? Because every action you take today counts. I hope this video has left you with something to think about. Thank you for watching.